I was sitting here trying to think about how to start the show when we're about to be like, so the Bridgerton Experience, isn't it fun being a landed titled member of the gentry? Wow, wealth. What fun! But also, I want to burn down the planet, and I'm not sure how to reconcile those things. Like, I'm so angry right now. I got a little push alert from the Chicago Tribune today about how we're about to be at our highest COVID rates ever in Chicago. I know more people right now who have COVID than at any point in the entire pandemic, and then I read this story about a lady who was having a miscarriage and a pharmacist refused to prescribe her the medicine she needed because he said he couldn't be sure she wasn't using it for an abortion. And I'm so mad. But let's talk about Lady Whistledown Society pages. Ugh. Welcome to Sickburn Jane. Is this Sickburn Jane or is this Podlander Drunkcast?
I think this is Sickburn Jane. I think it's more related in my mind with Sickburn Jane because of the source material.
Okay. Well, then, welcome to Sickburn Jane, a Podlander Drunkcast podcast.
There you go.
I'm Allison.
I'm Julie.
I'm Amelia.
There we go. I was going back and forth about whether or not we should say, and that's Amelia, and then you say hi. But that just wouldn't feel right.
It's not right.
No. I think maybe we need to get used to this. Are you ready? Let's do a couple little dry runs.
Okay.
Welcome to Sickburn Jane, a Podlander Drunkcast podcast.
Podlander presents. Wait, hold on. Podlander presents.
Welcome to Podlander Presents Sickburn Jane, a Podlander Drunkcast podcast.
Yes!
I'm Allison.
I'm Julie.
I'm Amelia.
One more time. I'm Allison.
I'm Julie.
I'm Amelia. What am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be doing right now?
You did it. You did it
You're
perfectly.
great. We're just getting used to it.
Okay.
We're just trying it on.
Bit?
No, there's not a bit. We're
sort
just
of.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, porque no los dos.
It can't help but be a bit because we just did it fucking 3 times. So
Okay,
now
I'm Allison.
I'm Julie.
I'm Amelia.
Great. And today we are talking about the Bridgerton Experience. As part of Sickburn Jane, Podlander presents Sickburn Jane, Podlander Drunkcast podcast. But also, the world is just garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So, eat the rich. Also, Amelia bought me gloves.
Were they elbow length or get the fuck out?
Oh, they were elbow length.
Oh, they will.
Perfect. Appropriate.
Yeah, Amelia and I we're living our contradictory eat the rich Jeff Bezos internet fantasies. Yeah. So, a couple of weeks ago, like a month ago now.
Yeah.
Yes? Yeah. Amelia and I braved the terrifying outside world to drive a surprisingly long distance to go to some fancy fucking tennis club. What the fuck was it called, Amelia?
It was like
Do you remember?
X tennis. It says it's tennis plaza that has like a singular consonant hyphenated to be something else.
It was like rich people sporting facility and entertainment palace. It was weird. We showed up and had to get the valet parking because there was no more poor person parking available. That was weird. And then, but they were very nice. And then we experienced the Bridgerton Experience, which was surreal.
It was surreal. Okay, I've had people when I posted about this on my Instagram stories be like, "What is the Bridgerton Experience? Like, what is this?" Okay, so Bridgerton Experience, in case you have not been given aggressive, targeted Instagram story ads, as I have, dear listener.
Oh yeah, I still am getting them.
Yeah, it is like an immersive, interactive Instagram trap. This is your Museum of Ice Cream, but Bridgerton. This is your Wonder Museum, but Bridgerton. This is your Color Factory, etc., etc. But it is all officially Bridgerton branded with a heavy side of Tanqueray. Julie is grimacing so much, I have to take a screenshot of it.
It literally sounds like my worst nightmare.
You know, I think that you still would have had fun.
Well, I would have had fun because of the company and because we would have all been like, what the fuck is this shit? Right?
It can't be said enough. it is what Amelia describes. It is obviously an Instagram trap, but they tried just enough, in fact, slightly too much given the time window that we were given, to make it more of an actual experience and not a place to go and take photos. Although we did take photos, obvi.
I mean, duh.
But it was, there were, you know, maybe we just narrate the evening and we'll get to the things that there were. Because they were really, my big complaint is that they tried to do something more interesting, which is good, but they didn't actually give us enough time to experience more than one of those things.
Okay.
Which is not so good. So it was strange. The whole thing was strange. It really wanted to be site-specific theater and wasn't, because there just wasn't enough time. Like, it was like Instagram trap, but make it sleep no more, only you've got 5 minutes, is what it felt like. It was more than 5 minutes, but that's what it felt like. Am I describing that correctly, Amelia, do you think?
I would say so. Yeah.
It was wild.
So we had our forced valet parking, and then we go into the tennis facility that the entryway has not been Bridgertonified at all. So it's very 90s, like decals of girls playing tennis. And,
it's like you're walking into the Breakfast Club and then you turn a corner and you're in Bridgerton.
Yes. As I said at the event, I'm at the tennis club. I'm at the Bridgerton Experience. I'm at the combination tennis club and Bridgerton Experience. And I really, I do want to, I am not a production designer. I do not deserve to have an opinion on it, but I'm going to. I've seen images of Bridgerton Experiences in other cities where they seem to be in like theaters or ballrooms or something where like you are immediately in it. But no, first we go through the tennis area, and then all of our walls and ceilings for the rest of the night are like black, like backdrops, like drop cloths. So everything is just immersed in black drop cloths and like twinkle lights from Home Depot to get us to the coat check. Okay, fine. But then there was the wisteria tunnel, and that was pretty cute.
Yeah. I should also say, because we were going as a press, we got these little VIP passes, which we wore like dance cards on our wrists.
Very cute.
It was a very fun detail.
That's funny.
Which also got us a drink, which meant nothing to me, although I was pretty stoned. But Amelia got her fancy cocktail, and I got some kind of non-alcoholic, sponsored by Tanqueray, but free of Tanqueray, non-alcoholic thing. So that was there. But we go through this wisteria tunnel, very pretty. That was when I was like, oh, okay. We also, before we got there, so we go to our coat check. We check our coats at the coat check, at the combination coat check and tennis emporium. And then, of course, we immediately pass a gift shop, one of several, which we did not stop to look at because it became clear that things were starting. So we hustle past the gift area and the first of many here, take a picture here stations. Go through the wisteria tunnel, which I attempted to walk very stylishly. And if you consult Instagram, I failed.
No, you were great.
No, I look like a drunk goose.
That's very specific.
It is very specific. And then you emerge into the actual experience. And
it seems like you're already having an experience.
Oh, we were. I mean,
pre-experience.
Frankly, for us, the experience began when Amelia pulled up to my home in her barouche box, wearing a lovely bridesmaid's dress with like a full-on updo. And I was wearing a caftan and a ponytail.
Amelia, here's to committing to the bit, man.
Oh, she committed to the bit.
Thank you.
In my defense, the caftan was the only thing I had that could even possibly come close. And I do think it looked pretty dope, but it was not period appropriate. So we are talking about, we hustle there, we get there, forced valet. That is when the experience truly began, because we pulled up and Amelia very tenderly said out of her window, "Hi, I don't actually want valet parking because we don't have any cash to tip you, but I can't figure out where real parking is." And he went, "Oh, that's okay. There is no more regular parking. There's only valet." She was like, "But I can't tip you." He was like, "That's fine. and he was very nice about it.
He was very
but
nice
we were
about
like,
it.
I'm so sorry. Eat the rich.
I was going to say that's an amazing way to start this experience is to have that cognitive dissonance slapping you in the old face.
Yeah. So we hustle past the tennis things, go through the wisteria tunnel, and you come out into this black draped room, which would have been greatly improved if only Chicago was a great architecture city.
Huh.
It doesn't make, I mean, I'm sure that it was just like a availability, square footage, parking combination of things, right? But in this moment, I cannot help but think about all of the places I've been that would have been a better location. And Amelia, you can actually probably speak to that even more, having recently searched for a wedding venue.
You guys, give me your top 3 places where you would have preferred to have the Bridgerton experience other than this tennis court.
Amelia, you go first.
A real answer is the Logan Square Auditorium.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real answer.
A fake answer is somewhere in between dreaming and being asleep in a dreamscape.
The liminal space.
Liminal space.
All right. I'm going to say the Athenaeum, RIP,
Mm-hmm.
would have been better. The Chicago Cultural Center.
Ooh, that's what I was thinking.
That would have been better.
School of the Art Institute Ballroom.
Yeah. Main Stage Theater, totally empty. That would have been better.
Oh, yeah. That would have been, but that would have been, you would have had the weird entrance, like, dissonance, though, because, like, walking in next to J.B. Alberto's, it's taking you right out of the Regency.
Yeah, but at least then you're going through a wood-paneled bar.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then a dark lobby.
So there's more of a transition space than
and
there
you know
was
what?
at the
We
Tennis
also,
Emporium.
we still would have been blessed with forced valet there. So that part of the experience would have remained intact.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will say, maybe Block 37. Is that what the fuck it's called?
On the corner of Washington and State? Like the mall with the movie theater?
Because here's the thing. If you're going to be someplace that doesn't work at all, you might as well really go for it. Make me take an escalator up to the ballroom.
I was going to say escalators and elevators. Fuck yeah.
And like, go ahead and put the drink station right outside of a Claire's. Like, I want, make us enter through the Anthropology.
That actually works, though.
That works.
And then you know what you could have done at the very end? You could have screened the first episode of Bridgerton. You could have ended your experience with going into a movie theater and watching the first episode of Bridgerton.
People should be paying us way more money.
Yeah.
To think these things out.
Yeah.
Also, the Thompson Center would be really funny.
Oh my God.
Ooh, the food court of the Thompson Center.
Oh, in the basement. Oh.
Yep.
Anyway, okay, so yes, we get through the wisteria tunnel, a lot of black draping. Something that was cool was throughout they had costumes from the show, like in glass cases that you could look at, and so like immediately, cool. I think to the first two we saw, there was like one of Daphne. Daphne wears a lot of blue, but it was one of Daphne's like blue short sleeved frocks, and then I think one of her mom's. Then directly to your right was something we did not indulge in because it looked like it cost money, where basically it was a fancy photo station where people in wigs and little like valet coats were standing in front of gigantic like iPads pretending to be painting the portraits of the people who were seated in that station, when really it was just like several photos were being taken that then you could choose from, and then
there was like a thick filter put on it. I mean, it was a cool filter, but
where do you think they found those people? Like, do you think those people were taking acting classes at Black Box?
Oh, those are actors for sure. I will not.
Friend of the show. We have a friend of the show who does something like that at the LA Bridgerton Experience.
Yes, I will not. Okay. I will not name names, but a friend of the show who is a great actor who is in LA is one of the costume and actually one of the characters, not like one of the. I'm sure they're all actors though.
Okay, cool.
And they were committed. They were committed.
You better be.
I hope that paycheck was fat.
I hope they got paid.
I hope they are making a lot of money. So you get essentially you were having your portrait painted. And the filter was pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. But we didn't do it both because we thought it cost money, which I think it did.
I think it did.
But also because there was just no fucking time to do anything. Because in addition, you walk in, we spotted more gift shops, obviously, more costumes to look at. There was a really beautiful Penelope Featherington costume. That I remember pretty vividly. And we were wandering around looking at things. All of a sudden we noticed there are these little signs on everything that have clues. And there was a note, I think it's on my Lady Whistledown Society page.
Yeah. Lady Hear Tell. For this event, she was called Lady Hear Tell.
Oh, yes. We heard a recording of Julie Andrews introducing us to her close personal friend, Lady Hear Tell, who then narrated the rest of the evening.
It was clearly like in the back room watching everything on like closed circuit TV, and later on, we'll get to this, would like make specific comments about like actual civilians who were there.
Yes.
Yeah.
In context, not at random. But on the back of our little society page that we were handed in is a little circled paragraph that tells you to test your wits and wisdom at these clues scattered around the Queen's Ball. We got to exactly one, and then the Queen entered. So then it was like, nope, we're done. Get in line to meet the Queen, which we did not have to do. There was no forced fun at all, which is good because fuck forced fun. But we were doing the thing properly, right?
Yeah. A long red carpet, Julie, and then this like pergola to suggest you are indoors, and a large throne on top of some stairs, and there were like string players, of course, as you have at Bridgerton.
Playing Lady Gaga or whatever.
Pop covers, yeah.
And the bowing was first, or was the dancing first?
Well, let's talk about the Queen first. So the Queen entered a beautiful Black woman, like just actor. I'm assuming again, actress. She was very regal. The costume was incredible. She makes an extremely grand entrance, walks up to her throne, sits. She has ladies in waiting, and then Lady Hear Tell, Lady Heretofore, Lady Now Hear This. Lady, now that's what I call Music 5. She told us that it was time to be presented to the Queen because at the end of the ball, a diamond will be named. There will be a diamond. Will the diamond be you? So people are sort of awkwardly like half in line, half not in line, so trying to figure out.
It was like kind of forced fun because they kept saying throughout the night, "Who will be the diamond? If you do not do this or this, you will not be considered."
Luckily, there was no shortage of people who were doing the thing. The only thing that we did was the meeting the Queen, in terms of the forced fun of it, which I do not regret because that was totally surreal. So we get in line. First, we're in line together. Then Amelia wisely is like, no, if we're doing this for the gram, which of course we're doing it for the gram, we need to split up so that we can take video of each other doing this. Which happened. So Amelia's first in line, and I'm, 8 or 9 people behind her. And we slowly move up the line while Lady, now that's what I call Music 5, is on her microphone saying, "Oh, what a lovely guy. Ooh, a turn. This person added a turn. Will they be the diamond? Oh, yes, please take the time to set down your bag and your drink. And then meet what a lovely low curtsy." Like that. It would have been way more fun if it was like Billy Porter in Pose. Like way like, and that is how you do a ball. Like, but no, it was not that kind of ball. So Amelia goes up. She looks so elegant, you guys. She walks up and she curtsies, and her head is sort of bowed. And to me, she looked very in control of herself. Amelia, tell us of your experience.
Thank you so much. I had been practicing my bow, my curtsy, at home. It's like, cool, I got this. And despite being, I wouldn't say I'm a theater professional, but I have been in public very often on purpose. You know, I'm a ham on the loose. Despite being a ham on the loose, which was my new favorite song by the Roches. If you just understood the joke I made, please slide in my DMs because I will marry you tomorrow. Anyway, I'm a ham on the loose. Okay, fine. Something about just having that many eyes in a slightly chaotic situation with like potentially getting read to filth. I just kind of like low-key blacked out, felt like I couldn't like control the wobble of my ankles, and so I just grabbed this bridesmaid's dress that I've only worn once. It is a wrap dress, and I go to bow. As I go to bow, the string players apparently are in between songs, and so the room goes silent, and I freak out even more. And so I do just a little dip, but I grabbed sort of like toward the top of the wrap dress to do my curtsy. And when you grab two different pieces of a wrap dress, your nethers do get exposed. Now, even though I had Spanx on, and it would have really needed some time to study to see where my bits were, I must inform you that I'd flashed the queen at the Bridgerton Experience.
Thank you. Thank you for doing the hard work when I wasn't there to do that.
And they didn't kick me out. I don't know how it happened.
That is, in truth, the least believable thing about the Bridgerton Experience. So there should have been an off with her head moment. From behind, it just looked like Amelia had a pretty decent curtsy. Mm-hmm. Oh, I had forgotten that the music went quiet, but she's correct, it did. So then she is off to the side, and I'm like, oh god. Well, you know what, Amelia? What did it look like? You tell, and then I tell. We'll do the same thing in reverse.
Yes, perfect. Allison, came down the runway. She had her eyes on the prize being the queen. Did a quick check, kind of floated, glided, because she's wearing a diaphanous caftan, of course.
Hell yeah!
And then
it does billow.
It billowed beautifully. And then a kind of more of a curt curtsy, if you will. A curtsy with an emphasis on curt. And then got the fuck out, is what I saw.
Oh, yeah. As I got to the front, was like, oh, okay. There was also a little tiny rigmarole right before it was my turn where somebody was moving or somebody forgot something. There was a longer pause. And I think the part of my brain that kicked in was the part that rebels when people are singing Happy Birthday too slowly, or when a play was supposed to start 2 minutes ago and you can tell that it hasn't started yet because of something that's happening in the audience, where I wasn't part of it, but I felt a responsibility to move things along.
Hell yeah.
So I was like, all right, let's do this. And I just sort of strode forward, and then I was planning on the grand sweep. I bear the emotional scars of ballet for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. If I can't use that training right now, why do I have all this baggage as I'm 38? It's all of that for nothing. I've been thinking about the guy who told me my hips were going to spread for years for nothing. So I stroll up, planning to do the full leg behind grand low curtsy. And instead I was like, nope, fuck this, gotta get out. Boing! And just went. Tucked one ankle behind the other and went, boink! And then just got the fuck out. All business. It's nope, you need to get to the next person. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the pace for you. That is not what this is about. That was not the point of the experience. The point of the experience was to experience it, but I went into full control bitch mode, I guess, and just boink, and then got the hell out of there. And
editorial mode as opposed to
totally
experience mode. Right.
Amelia and I took, I would say, a full, if we're being honest, a full 7 minutes to recover from the emotional stress of meeting the queen, which, in contrast to some of the other things we've described, that was probably actually the most realistic aspect of the Bridgerton Experience.
Oh, if you really were in that time and you met the queen, how fucked up you'd be. Right.
It put me in a state. Not for the same reasons that it puts the characters in the show in a state, but we were both like, I don't know, maybe let's get a drink? I don't,
it does
do you want to do
kind
the
of
treasure
anxiety-inducing, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you met the queen, and then what's next?
And that's when I redeemed my free drink because I needed it real bad. Yeah. When you get shot out of seeing the queen, I do want to give a shout out, just as I'm mentally walking through the room. They had a really cute setup for the modiste. And so there were more costumes as Allison described, but there was like a guy behind a counter with like ribbons and little fiddly
notions
bits and things.
Yes.
Notions. So many notions. It was actually very nicely designed. And like we saw someone come up trying to do the treasure hunt that you could not do for lack of time and too many bodies in the room and too much chaos. Walk up to the ribbon selling man and go, "Feather?" And he's like, "Madam, I'm trying to do this treasure hunt, and I think the magic word I need to say to you is feather." By the way, one of the things that Bridgerton Experience is feather. And he moved a basket to reveal a clue.
It was very cute.
That was nice.
That's
it was very
fun.
cute.
And that actor was having a good time. He just sort of casually, it was like he was looking around, he just sort of casually slid it back while he was looking around the room, like, dee, nothing to see here. Very cute. But again, we didn't do that because we decided to wait and do the Queen thing. And spoiler alert, we're about to proceed to the performance aspect of the evening in like 30 seconds, is what it felt like. It was more than that, but not much.
Yeah. And as people... Oh, go ahead.
Just a question.
Yeah.
So was it like timed entry? Like you're part of a group and you have this much time to get through it?
Yes.
Oh, well, that sucks because that makes it, as you guys have said, you feel rushed and you don't really get to explore all the shit. So that's
I think
terrible.
Timed entry was the way to go. It's just that it wasn't
enough time.
It was
for the
like
group.
self-guided without actually having time for it to be self-guided. Like if they wanted us to keep things moving along, they should have been shepherding us from thing to thing.
Tour guides.
Or made it clear, like, pick your activity. Do the treasure hunt, meet the queen, take your portrait, whatever.
Choose one of three.
Instead, it was like, here you go. You've got an indeterminate amount of time that we will not tell you because we had no idea how long we had.
Okay.
So we get our drinks, which, Amelia, you got champagne?
I got champagne.
Hell yeah.
I got some little non-alcoholic cocktail. It was good. And then they started the dancing lessons. You know, Julie, if I could draw your mind back to a conversation we had previously on this very podcast. Do you remember talking to the legend, the light, friend of the show, Jeannie Simpson?
Yes, of course I remember that.
And do you remember her describing what it was like teaching Wishbone how to parlor dance?
Yes, I do.
It was like that.
We were the dog in this scenario.
And I want to be clear, we did not learn to dance. We were like, nope, I don't have it in me to do that. But a lot of people did. And the actors clearly had a lot of fun with it. They were sort of wandering around, encouraging people to do whatever. And they played music and they were teaching very rudimentary, like touch a hand, turn in a circle, bow. Touch a different hand, turn in a circle, bow. Switch sides. Very basic. But they were having a good old time. And we just
sheer chaos, like everybody's running around with their pants down, like they can't even handle that.
And there were slightly too many people to be doing it, and the lines were sort of odd. The queen was watching. It was very... If I'm honest, that's probably the main reason that we didn't do it, is the queen was watching.
So instead, Allison and I got in a very short line to take romantic photographs in an ivy-covered gazebo that had strings of pearls down the front, so it looked like we were falling in love while it rained outside the gazebo, which I respect. I respect nothing but respect.
Yes.
For my rainy gazebo.
Yeah, it was very very Insta friendly. So
somebody needs to show me that photo.
Join Instagram, Julie. For fuck's sake. We've been saying this for years.
I don't want to. Ugh.
Amelia,
all right, go on.
Did we both take one? You continue talking. I'll try to find it.
Okay, while she looks for our romantic photos, I'm going to... So basically, the gazebo led to the entrance to the ball. It was ball time.
Oh, my God.
Allison has pulled up
please.
the photo.
Screenshot. Because speaking of nothing but respect, this is giving me prom 1995 vibes that are really taking me back. And I'm just glad that you guys got to do that together.
Also, follow Sickburn Jane on Instagram.
Yes. Please.
So we all got, herded into the main ballroom. Once we were herded into the main ballroom, we could not return to everything we've already seen. Just FYI.
I'm going to offer a brief insight into my character. as a human being. I, when it comes to games, let's say, when it comes to things that aren't the management of when it comes to things that aren't executive function, I'm a completist. So I have, because of my job, finally gotten past being a completist when it comes to TV shows and movies. I don't have time.
You can't. Yeah.
But if you give me a stupid game on my phone and say there are 104 achievements, I will play that game until I either get all 104 achievements or simply cannot anymore because I am just losing my mind. So you tell me that there's a treasure hunt and I have to follow all the clues and then I figure the first one out and then don't have time for any more. That's my fucking nightmare. Mm-mm. So we get herded into this other room. Ladies and gentlemen, the ball will begin shortly. Please proceed to the exit. We go in, and then in my mind, giant metal doors clang shut behind us. It's not true. It was just curtains. But that's what it felt like.
But it does feel like somebody's blocking your egress. I don't like that.
We were definitely not supposed to go back in the other room. For sure. So we're in there, and
they had to reset it for the next group.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder how much time everybody had to reset everything and do all that shit. I bet it was pretty tight.
I'm sure it was. Mm-hmm. So there's a proper ballroom dancing floor. There's another place for the queen to sit, so the queen gets another entrance. People are dancing. Amelia and I are not dancing. And then we're trying very hard to get out of the way of the people who are dancing, but it's unclear. A lot of chaos in the early stages of the second part of the evening.
And we get more appearances also by actors who are clearly supposed to be the Duke. And also, oh God, I just watched Bridgerton season 2. What's the Kate? So like the costume signaling is like, oh, a love story, even though those characters do not actually interact in Bridgerton, at least to my knowledge. Like, oh, a love story begins at the ball.
Yeah, so, there's in the if they also didn't really give us time to read this thing, but in the Lady Whistledown Society paper we were handed on entrance, there are some little tidbits about people we were clearly supposed to recognize, but again, they didn't actually give us time to recognize any of these people. The couple that Amelia is talking about, we start to hear narration about them. Lady Hear My Song is telling us about maybe there is this couple meant to fall in love. Perhaps it's love. Perhaps it's the rarest of Taunton marriages, a love match, like that kind of shit. And then eventually we're all sort of cleared off the floor because Amelia and I had these VIP tickets. This was the best thing about the VIP tickets, not the free drink. There was a little area with little teeny couches that you could sit on, like raised.
Green velvet.
Yeah.
Nice.
With a little cocktail table. So as soon as we figured out the show was started, we were like, let's get the fuck out of this chaos mill. We went and sat in our little seats.
VIP section.
I felt much more relaxed than we were just watching a show. It was great. And then we got like a bunch of choreography and shit. Mm-hmm. It was neat. There was it was surprisingly non-literal. It was overtly sexy in a way I didn't anticipate. And then there was a real missed opportunity because the dance that they were doing, I forget what the actual pop song was, but they literally were swinging on a chandelier and the song was not Sia.
Not Chandelier, yeah.
Yeah, why? Huge missed opportunity.
Come on.
But when they're swinging on the chandelier and like going in a circle, obviously that's them fucking. It was like, here, look, they're fucking. It doesn't look like fucking at all, but this is they've given themselves over to the power of love. They're flying through the air. That means they're fucking.
Mm-hmm. But, I don't know, Allison. What about the times when the gauzy banner, like bedsheet looking banners fell from the ceiling, and then they were going in between them and sometimes doing like aerialist, pull them up, turn around.
There were aerial silks.
I don't know.
That was probably also fucking. It was
also fucking.
What we
not
were
literal
supposed to
at all.
take from
Not
it was,
literal.
but it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
I was expecting, oh, we're dancing, and oh, they're holding hands, and then oh, they stare longingly at each other, and then oh, they're discovered by someone. No, it was fucking like lyrical dance.
It was a step closer to Cirque du Soleil.
Yes, but without the... This is going to sound mean, and it's not a read, because this wasn't their job, but without the impressive prowess. Like, they were not aerialists. You know what I mean? They were actors who dance.
But they had hella upper arm strength for all that swinging. So, like...
And they looked great together. They
looked great, yeah.
They looked great. They were hot. The dancing was hot.
We can't afford to make fun of them because they could easily beat us up.
Oh, yeah. They could for sure beat us up. And I wouldn't, because they looked sick and they were committed. I mean, and if there's one thing this podcast respects, it's committing to the bit. Everybody at the Bridgerton Experience was extremely committed to the bit, including the valet. What?
It was a little windbreaker.
So was that kind of the end? Like, didn't they just funnel you out and spit you out into the streets of Chicago?
No, the Queen had some. There were some Latsies. The Queen had a little interaction with them where she sort of gave them her blessing. Again, light Bridgerton season 2. It's obvious that the Experience was more inspired by season 1 than season 2, but it felt there were like flashes of what season 2 was like. And then there was more dancing. And then the Queen chose the diamond.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. You take this one away, Amelia, since you've got a different perspective on this than me.
Yes. So, again, from all of the Bridgerton Experience internet content that I consume, it's my understanding that they make a special point of choosing their diamond from any sort of marginalized community. So I've seen a lot of like absolutely like gorgeous like trans and non-binary people being chosen, etc. The person who was chosen as our diamond, I'm lightly acquainted with, sort of, but not to the point where I like went up to talk to them after. Had like is also from a marginalized community, but had this like exquisite period costume and was there in a group that I've now deduced is like some sort of local historical costume nerd. It was just so lovely.
That's fun.
So they got up and like they were invited to the center platform where previously there had been lyrical dance fucking. It's like, it's the diamond, and then glitter rained from the ceiling.
Wow, that was fucking magical. It truly was.
It was incredible.
It was.
Although, I would say this. It would be very impressive, and I would be delighted and probably clap or thwart my fan, but then immediately my brain would be like, who's cleaning up all that fucking glitter? And it's in my ass crack for 2 weeks. Like, does anybody else hate glitter the way that I do?
Oh, I love glitter.
You like it? I
hate cleaning glitter, but
that's what I'm saying. It gets everywhere. It gets everywhere.
First of all, none of us would ever put ourselves in the position where we would be chosen as the diamond.
You're right.
Because we were just not participating enough. But if I was not expecting to be showered in glitter while everyone applauded for me, it would be so fucking magical that I don't think I would care if I had glitter in my ass crack for weeks. I mean, it was exquisite. It was beautiful.
Awesome. Was it just a metric fuck ton of glitter?
It was so much, and like really floaty, very sparkly. It wasn't funk.
There's your reason why they're rushing you.
Oh, to clean up the glitter!
Because it takes so fucking long to clean that up every time.
Yeah.
Fucking mystery solved. Just call me Jessica Fletcher.
Never. Julie, I love you, but never.
You're no Jessica Fletcher.
There's only one Jessica Fletcher.
No.
And her name is Angela Lansbury. It was really, that was the moment where I was like, okay, this actually feels like an experience. It's an experience for me. It's especially an experience for the person who got chosen. But I still get to feel sort of like a very light version of the emotional equivalent of what that sort of triumph in this particular venue must have been like. To all of a sudden, everyone is fucking worshiping you. Watching somebody have that experience in this other way was really cool. It sincerely was.
Awesome.
And then we didn't buy any of the $900 makeup palettes.
The Pat McGrath Bridgerton branded makeup palettes are
they're beautiful.
Tempting.
They're gorgeous.
They're gorgeous.
But wow. Pricey.
Yeah, I almost I was like, okay, Allison, I guess now I'm ready to buy a $30 lipstick, and I managed to not do that.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Please clap. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And
But
the glitter
have I
rains
thought about
down.
it like every day. Yes. Yeah. Oh.
Yes. Have I regretted it? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. We Bridgertoned. We experienced. Also, from our vantage point, I was able to watch an unmasked woman sneeze on an entire bar, So that was cool, and like twice, and like didn't move. But other than that, it was the VIP lounge is the right place to be. Is it worth $75 to get in the VIP lounge? We leave that up to you.
I'll put it this way. If you want this experience and you are at all like Amelia and I, and you're willing to pay that much money, do it. Because I don't know how much the drinks are, but I'm sure they're not cheap. So do it, because it is worth it to be out of the fucking fray, frankly. I was very relieved to not be like, it was really like you walk through a room and then all of a sudden you're in high school again. I was like, I can't, everybody's dancing, but they're not playing Genuine, so I don't know what to do with my body. And we just had to like get out of the way. But that's only if you really want this experience and you're willing to pay that much money to enjoy it in a way that suits your personality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You could. There are lots of things you could buy a $75 ticket to. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, get there as early as they'll let you in. If there was like a doors at, show at thing, which I didn't notice, but maybe look into it.
Neither did I. Yeah, look into
it for sure. Get there as early as they will let you in. Have a plan of the order of things you want to do. And you probably, if you really focus, I can't guarantee you could finish the scavenger hunt, but just if you know what's coming, then I think you're
If you were there early and you were first in line and you wanted to do everything, if you were there early and you were first in line for the portraits, you knocked that out. And you waited to do the cocktail until you were going into the event, like into the dance part of it. Then you would have your portrait, and then you would have time to wander around and look at things and do the scavenger hunt while you're waiting for the Queen's entrance. Then after the Queen's entrance, you learn the dancing, and then you get a drink on the way into the other thing. That might be doable, but it's might.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think there were like 25 clues.
Yeah,
it wasn't like 3
10
things.
clues?
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, like shorten. Speaking of editorial mind. Edit.
Yeah. It was like great in theory, dicey in execution.
All right. Well, I'm glad you guys went and had a fun time.
We really did.
I would say that you all attended this event in the kind of weird like lull where it's fucking COVID related shit didn't feel quite as fraught as it feels right now. So like I would not be able to do this right now.
I would
just be like, no.
Masks, I would say, were probably 50-50 in the audience. Does that seem right, Amelia?
Yeah.
It definitely, we weren't the only ones wearing masks. Okay. However,
all the actors had masks, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless they were actively, like when they were dancing, they weren't wearing masks. The Queen wasn't wearing a mask, but she was distanced from, everybody because she was the fucking Queen. She was the Queen. But when they were just sort of milling around, the way you could tell, because there were some truly exquisite costumes on the attendees, right? There were some serious costumes. People came to play. And the way you could tell the cast and people who were in the audience apart is people in the cast all had masks that matched their costumes, like embroidered masks that matched their costumes. It was fun. That was a really cool detail. But I also, with the way things are right now, I would be, unless masks were suddenly required again, I would be loath to go. But the show did, I think, a pretty good job of making sure that their people were safe, or as safe as is reasonable, I guess. Yeah. And then we went to friend of the show, Scotty Caldwell's house, and Amelia reenacted her fleshing the Queen. It was
sweet. Great. See, that's my Bridgerton experience.
Ooh.
Well, thank you all for telling me about it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was.
Now you feel like you were there.
Oh no.
You know
if
what?
I had been there, I would have just been like this the whole time. Are you fucking kidding me? Can we leave now? Oh, glitter. Oh, great. That's in my ass crack. Like, that's literally how I would
The glitter
be.
wouldn't have been in your ass crack. You would have been nowhere near the glitter.
I'm just
nowhere
telling
near.
you, you could be in a separate room. 2 weeks later, you scratch under your armpit and like, where did this glitter come from?
Well, to me, Julie, that sounds like glitter has a personal vendetta against you.
It does! Every time I get a birthday card from my mother-in-law, I open it like this because she likes to send the glitter cards. I'm like, oh, God, over the trash can, and then glitter all over my face. I just fucking... That's it. That's the tweet.
I was trying to figure out the way to turn that into a Love Shack joke, and then I gave up because nobody wants a Love Shack joke.
But yeah, Bridgerton Experience, we had some harsh criticisms, but I'm glad that so many like Chicago actors have a steady gig for the foreseeable future. Everybody working there is doing a great job.
That's cool.
The bartender who made Allison's drink like took time to figure out like what is something that would taste good, and was, like, they're like muddling.
Oh no, it
fresh
was
mint leaves.
it was on a menu.
Oh,
there was a
it?
preset
Okay.
cocktail, yeah. But I don't think that I was supposed to get one. I think that our free beverage was champagne. So I asked if I could have a non-alcoholic cocktail instead, and I think they were like, sure.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Yeah,
It
like
should be.
thoughtful,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
nice things happened.
It was not a bad experience. It was
not bad.
just there were a lot of missed opportunities. I think.
Rushed.
Yeah, rushed. Too much.
Tusk.
Maybe let's wrap up real briefly with a mini thought exercise.
Yes.
Inevitably, when there's an Outlander experience, which is inevitable, what goes in the Outlander experience?
The dick rocks. Duh.
Worsting some wool.
It's hot pass, Amelia.
The hot pest table. That's where
The
I
hot
spend the
pest
entire experience.
Yeah, well, we go together and we make a beeline for the hot pest table, and then we just stay there the whole time. I think
The Gathering.
the gathering. Yes, je suis prêt.
But in order to get there, you have to escape from the witch dungeon jail hole.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Or
what
escape from
about-
those coats.
Maybe, okay, what if the entrance, so to get into the experience, you touch a dick rock and then you proceed through, right?
Perfect.
Yes.
That's what, as you're walking in, you see a vase. And then, then you get sucked through the dick rocks. And then you wind up, I think maybe we skip ahead to the gathering at that point. Everybody's presenting themselves. Then we get a little Jamie Claire story of some kind. And then we get a traveling roadshow performance of Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. And then France in some form? Versailles?
Yeah, there has to be. It's interesting because the gathering and like a ball at Versailles are to me very like on the same kind of level in Outlander.
See, I'm making the same mistake the Bridgerton Experience did. We need to
You
pick
need
a
to
season
choose
and
one.
stick with it. So here's the question. Is it season 1 of Outlander or is it current era Outlander? Is the Experience season 1? Okay.
Season 1 because it's about traveling back through time and being in that thing. So I think it would
Gathering
be
then.
Yeah, you touch the dick rock, you open up, you're in a forest. Oh my God. Can you imagine what that would look like? And you have to walk through the forest and you end up at walking into the castle where everybody is in the period garb and it's the gathering. There's probably a little bit of the like presenting themselves to the layered situation before there's the big dance.
Oh, yeah, sword dancing for sure.
Right. And then I don't know how you would wrap it up. Like, you wouldn't have an analogous thing to the diamond. You wouldn't have
you would
like
you would have it would have to be like a calling of the clans thing where maybe somebody has to represent it's the fiery cross now. Maybe somebody has to call for Clan Mackenzie or something.
If you, sorry, I was drinking beer and I got really excited. If you take the scavenger hunt aspect, but bring it down to 5 pieces that people have to find, and then you figure out that one of the pieces, like if somebody picked up a red card or whatever, they're Clan Mackenzie, boom! And then everybody from Clan Mackenzie gets called up on stage and like that thing?
How about this? You follow the clues, and if you and fuck it, there are still 25 clues. But you have to start, you have to commit to the clues, make it really hard. Because if you follow all of the clues, you find the Frenchman's gold. Yes. And then you get to take home a souvenir bar of gold.
Right, like one of those
Frenchman's
chocolate
gold.
coins.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Call us, stars.
Fucking come on.
Daphne, we know you're listening, bitch. Give us a call.
We can
Like,
put this
all I
together
know
for
is
you.
it has to be season 1 because if the drop cloths in the Tennis Emporium were any indication, these experiences do not have the budget for so many windows as seen in later seasons.
Yeah, that's true. It's got to be
The
season
window
1.
budget's not there.
Ooh, Mrs. Graham and her Dick Rock dancers.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
Season 1.
there we go. That's great.
Pagan ceremony sometime. That could be part of it.
Yeah.
Like walking through that.
What else would be good from season 1? I mean, was walking wall, hot piss table. You touch a dick rock, you walk through the woods, you emerge on a shed where a bunch of ladies are just sitting, singing songs and doing this. And you just do this until all of a sudden you hear Tulaka! And then everybody runs out from the sides and there's this fight all around you and you have to try to not die.
That just spiked my anxiety, and I'm not even there.
Okay. That's not our real idea. But we'll do this for you, stars. Just give us a call.
Yeah, we can figure this out. It's clear. We have many ideas.
And you know what? I can promise you that there are at least 50 people who would attend because they support us on Patreon. You can find us to contact them, Daphne. You can contact them through us at podlandercast.com. Yes, that's it. Facebook.com/podlandercast, on Twitter at podlandercast and at sickburnjane, on Instagram at podlandercast, at sickburnjane, and at podlanderpresents. You can also see photos from our experience and some, I think there are reels, something like that. In stories, whatever. You can see some of this shit on the Sick Burn Jane Instagram. You can also find us at patreon.com/podlanderdrunkcast, where you can support the shows. The shows.
Fucking moguls, bitches.
We are moguls.
I wonder why we talked about Bridgerton today. I don't know.
You can find us there and support the show at any level. That's also you've already heard us talk about this, but that is the place you can watch the Janine Wake if you want to. The Janine's Mike Wake, rather. We want to thank all of our patrons who make it possible for us to do the show, but especially the following wonderful people. Doc JWS, I saw Goody Proctor with the devil. Kelly Armstrong, Cindy Taylor, BG, Just Bree, Catspaw156, Maddie Perkins, Snazenak, Lisa Brienne, Julia Gulia, Kathleen Martini, Lauren Tennant, Kelsey Kemp, Emily Day, Betsy English, Caitlin Reddick, Jen Collins, Ashley Tikas, Tina Barnett, Nicole Rodriguez, Kristen, Freckled Fury, Laura Colm, Amelia Bazell, Liz, and Tinkerbell, Stella Welch, Troy Halligan, Claire Feeney, Rochelle Lefevre, Amanda Smizaza, Jerry Hurdle, Emily Carlson, Amy Gustafson, Rachel Townsend, Kelly Mazzella, Chantel Salters, Mary, The Falling, Statue, Tara Lucchino, Viv Pickles, a.k.a. Laura, Mary of the Grapefruit, Jenna Polkowski, Ann Gibson, Ruth McCormick, Kara Marlowe, Trish McRae, Julie DeToy, Jen Lynn, Callie Bodden, Amanda, and Kiki. The Wise. Thank you so much for listening. We will be back next week with... guess what time it is, bitch? It's time for Dude Lander.